The Wendy's $3 breakfast deal is here. Get a bacon or sausage, egg, and Swiss croissant, plus a small seasoned potatoes. That's a better breakfast for just $3 in 3 easy steps. 1, wake up. 2, get out of bed. And 3, head to Wendy's for your $3 breakfast deal. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast deal.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours. Select a request $3 breakfast deal in order to obtain discount. Not valid for a la carte or combos orders. Price and participation may vary in Alaska and Hawaii.
Tired of long waits and rushed care at the ER and urgent care clinic? Next time, stay home and let Dispatch Health bring the power of the hospital to you.
I call Dispatch Health. A care team of medical professionals actually come to your house.
They're the same caliber of people that you would see if you were at a hospital or an urgent care.
Dispatch Health can treat most non-life-threatening emergencies.
They can do the x-rays, they can do stitches,
urinary tract infections, blood test, urinalysis, ultrasound.
It's almost everything that they can do at the ER.
You never feel rushed. They're there for you and only you.
I felt like their only patient.
And it costs no more than a trip to urgent care because Dispatch Health is covered by most insurance, including Medicare. See if we serve your home at dispatchhealth.com.
Dispatch Health really went above and beyond.
It's wonderful to have care come to your home.
House calls are back, and they're better than ever. Learn more at dispatchhealth.com.
You're about to listen to a podcast full of wonder, excitement, and discovery. It's time for an adventure through Odyssey. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Adventures Through Odyssey podcast, Odyssey Revisited. I'm Will here with John. We've got 6 more episodes for you. Sorry for the little delay. We had some life stuff happen. We're trying to get back on track. We might even be recording an episode live from Munich in a couple weeks.
Live from Munich? Like,
well,
us together, and then we post it later. Also, I'm sorry if you hear any hiccups. For the beginning of this episode, we waited for a few minutes to see if they would die down. They would not. So,
I'll edit around them. Anyway, we're starting off with Issac, the insecure. Isaac Morton wants to be just like Jack Davis, but when the two are partnered up for a school assignment, it seems clear that Jack doesn't want anything to do with Isaac. First Isaac episode, so...
It's a good first Isaac episode, I think.
I agree. So I would say this. The Isaac episodes are really good, different biblical lesson episodes in that they're a little sillier, but they never quite cross the line into saccharine or moral oral. So...
well, it certainly wouldn't fall into the latter one you gave. I feel like it's good. I do think it is relatable. I think it, it's not always the case, but I do think it's a good lesson in terms of like, you can think one thing about someone and then someone thinks, the exact opposite thing, and it is kind of like talking about is almost the only way to get over those insecurities.
Oh, yeah. Please go ahead.
I remember the end of this episode more than like anything else that really happened in it. Like going back and listening to it, I don't really remember that much at the beginning or middle. I remember them talking at the end, but that's about it.
Right. So I will say, I did appreciate that Isaac actually did report to the teacher that Jack wasn't doing anything, although it is a little weird. Jack was apparently doing the whole thing, but didn't tell. Anyway.
I know, that's really weird. Now, in fairness, this was prior to cell phones, the internet, social media, where I feel like nowadays in a group project, you can get in touch with someone like pretty quickly. Where like now, like then it would have been like you had to call their home if you knew their number or like catch them at school.
Yes. This is true, but still, it does kind of feel like Jack blows Isaac off for a good chunk of it. You okay over there?
Yeah, I'm good.
As long as you can hear me.
More water as you talk.
So this also has what I would call one of the most ironic scenes in Odyssey history, where Isaac and Lucy are talking, and Isaac is like, Lucy, Jack doesn't want to hang out with people like us, which is weird, because Jack and Lucy have been established as friends for a very long time, and the voice actresses for Jack and Lucy got married in real life, and might actually have been married by this point.
You think it was an inside joke?
Maybe. I could see that being kind of a little nod in the writer's room.
Like, well, who? Yeah, that would be... If it was, that'd be pretty funny to find out. But yeah, yes. It is. Isaac's always overdramatic, though.
This is true. And we'll see that as we go along with like the 8 or 9 Isaac episodes we have. I'm just waiting for them to make on the club Isaac the playlist, but that was a good joke. I didn't write that down.
Because how many Isaac episodes are there?
8.
You could have a whole half album.
Pretty much. Yeah, so a good episode, a good introduction to Isaac, although, yeah, it is kind of this running gag that Isaac tends to fail at everything he does.
Yeah. Which is just like, it's not bad. It's just like, he's like, and they had these other stereotypes later in the series, just this character that very much is just like, how do I do this thing? Or like, this is my issue.
Right.
You know?
Yes, but a good start. Another Odyssey C.S. Lewis obsession joke, I guess. We're going to focus on the family works with the Lewis estate a lot, so...
The Lewis estate was like, plug our books in your audio drama.
I can't wait to see how they feel about the Netflix show.
Who, Odyssey or the Lewis estate?
Both. All right, Elijah, parts 1 and 2. Robin Jacobs and Jack Davis use the Imagination Station to experience the story of King Ahab, Queen Jezebel, and Elijah and the drought.
I always thought this was a great Bible story, honestly.
Yes, it is.
Especially, I've been reading through Kings, and it like talks about Elijah. And there's other stuff, I think, in Chronicles or in, like other parts of the Bible. But, like, it's not like they do a good job at fleshing it out and kind of setting the stage really well.
It is also the first because now they've got that partition in the Imagination Station. People go on an Imagination Station adventure and get separated, so they didn't have to keep contriving why is one kid experiencing all these events.
Yeah, like blasting them to a different time period. Wow! Although I have
to
think, Imagination Station stuff works like a dream, where, like, you're kind of like going on with the story, and suddenly it's kind of like, oh, 2 days have passed.
Clearly, I think the Evermore guy and Mr. Whitaker need to get together, but oh, never mind. So no, this is a good episode. I forgot how scary it was.
Oh, it can be very scary, yeah.
So other Bible episodes got scary, but I always kind of I forget how dark some of these get. Like a couple of people almost die, and I know it's the Imagination Station. So nobody's going to die. This isn't Meta or Oculus. Who made that headset?
Who made Oculus?
No, someone at either Meta or Oculus said they made a headset that will kill you if you die in the game.
Didn't Meta buy Oculus?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, that's just Sword Art Online.
That's the joke everybody was making.
So like, why would you even create this? It's just dumb. But yeah, it is dark. I mean, like, right, it's like Jezebel. It's like, oh yeah, they're really establishing how horrible of a person she is, and kind of establishing this kind of like historical background on like kind of the evil kings in Israel and
absolutely
Judah.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I just think it works really well. I mean, it's hard because it is just the story of Elijah, but I do remember this one fondly. I think it sets it up really well. I mean, do I think they could have done the story of Elijah, at least this story of Elijah, in one episode? Sure. But I think they do a really good job at making it to and not feeling too dragged out. I think Odyssey did well with the Bible stories when they were willing to introduce like other side people that kind of existed in the world.
Yes.
Like the whole Obadiah prisoner thing.
Right.
I don't know if that's supposed to be like the prophet Obadiah. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
But like, it's kind of fun.
Yes.
All right, maybe
okay?
it's not a prisoner. It's like an official or something like that. But just like establishing these kind of characters throughout the world.
Right. Yeah, so a good episode. Also, the last appearance of Jack Davis until modesty is the best policy because the voice actor's voice changed. I'm guessing the thought was, if we keep Jimmy around, we better give the other male characters a chance to come back.
I think that's exactly what happened, which is kind of sad that they were like, well, we can't lose Jimmy. And then they're like, well, I guess we should bring these other people back.
Yeah, so that's when Jack would kind of be replaced with Kurt as Lucy's foil. All right. Next episode, That's Not Fair. Connie, Donna, and Oscar all get a chance to see what would happen if everyone was treated fairly.
I feel like in my head, well, okay, you know what? I get this episode confused with the Peer Pressure Anonymous because it has very much a similar vibe.
Yes.
Like, it's like they're talking about, like, here's our problems, we don't like these, and then it's like, here, let's see what happens, like, in an application sort of thing.
Right, it feels like one of those late period Simpsons episodes where it's 3 stories tangentially based around the same thing.
Yeah.
So, which isn't bad. I think that gives a different look into it. I mean, I guess a Room of Consequence episode would have been kind of interesting if that existed at that point.
Yeah, but I actually kind of like, because I do think it's like a realistic thing they could have tried to coordinate.
Yes.
You know, like, it's not like crazy. Like, it's like Room of Consequence stuff is stuff where it's like, that could never happen.
Right. Yeah, no, I thought that was good. I thought it was a good exploration of it. You know, especially because, how do I want to describe this?
Tired of long waits and rushed care at the ER and urgent care clinic? Next time, stay home and let Dispatch Health bring the power of the hospital to you.
I call Dispatch Health. A care team of medical professionals actually come to your house.
They're the same caliber of people that you would see if you were at a hospital or an urgent care.
Dispatch Health can treat most non-life-threatening emergencies.
They can do the x-rays, they can do stitches.
Urinary tract infections, blood test, urinalysis, ultrasound.
It's almost everything that they can do at the ER.
You never feel rushed. They're there for you and only you.
I felt like their only patient.
And it costs no more than a trip to urgent care because Dispatch Health is covered by most insurance, including Medicare. See if we serve your home at dispatchhealth.com.
Dispatch Health really went above and beyond.
It's wonderful to have care come to your home.
House calls are back, and they're better than ever. Learn more at dispatchhealth.com.
Shop JCPenney for thousands of deals so low, no coupons needed. This weekend, save up to 50% on kitchen electrics from brands like Keurig and Cuisinart. Say yes, please, to diamonds and gemstones, now $19.99 each. And bundle up the fam and coats, starting at $14.99. We got your holiday.
Black Friday deals. Shop, JCPenney.
Offers valid on select items 11/18 through 11/20. Excluded from coupons. Exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
Membership fees apply after free trial. Cancel anytime. Guys, are you trying to stay in 20-year-old shape into your 30s and 40s and finding it, well, impossible? Then you need to listen to this. Beachbody, the company that revolutionized getting ripped at home with P90X and Insanity, has a brand new program just for you called Lift 4. It's part lift, it's part hit. With total body shredding results in just 30 to 40 minutes a day, right at home on the Beachbody On Demand app. That's how you get killer results as an adult. Go to beachbody.com to sign up now and you can try Live 4 for free. That's beachbody.com.
I would actually say the episode does a very good job making the people who are quote-unquote being unfair not seem unreasonable, except maybe for the sub or for the teacher. But then they go back and show you, oh, he's kind of been letting her off the hook on a lot of these assignments. So.
Yeah.
So.
It's... Here's the thing. I actually like the message at the end where it's like, okay, like, life's not always fair.
Yes.
And it's like, but like, you're getting more than your fair share because, you know, you're safe when you shouldn't have been.
I would agree.
I think, now, do I question, like, it's like hard because it's like the whole thing with Oscar, like, it's kind of like the reverse side of it. It's like, well, right, he should be able to go like the same way, but like during that whole week, like he wasn't even able to go out with his brother. I feel like it would have been more interesting had he gone out with his brother and it wasn't interesting. Instead, it was like, instead of I have to take my little brother everywhere. Like sometimes it's like, okay, true.
Yes.
Like it's like a very literal, except for Donna, it feels like a little too literal way of being fair.
Yes, but I think that's kind of the point.
Right, but like there's other ways, like I don't know, it's like one of those things. I actually like the episode quite a bit, but I guess if they did more episodes about fairness kind of in the vein of this, I would love to see something where it's like this like truly feels like almost like some sort of injustice, like unfairness sort of thing.
Yes.
Because instead it's almost like doing it like these like little problems of yours, like, oh, like, why are you even complaining about it? When it's like, there are things that are truly deeply feel unfair that can happen, and it, like, to you, and it can, like, all this stuff feels like slightly minor inconveniences for all the characters.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, right, it's like, but that's like, right, it is unfair, and, like, you could try to make things better, but sometimes that's just how the world is.
I would concur, and although I
doesn't
get,
mean we
again,
can't fix it.
it's a kid
Not saying
show.
we can't try to fix the unfairness, but like that's just sometimes the reality of the sinful world that we're in.
And they try to touch on that in the end, but I agree, it's kind of a simplistic episode, but a good one for kids, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yeah.
But speaking of unrealistic things people do, next episode, But You Promised. In a pinch about losing her bike, Robin lies about the people who stole it.
This is like a classic children's episode, isn't it? Lying about stuff.
Yes, but I feel like the police don't get involved, innocent people don't get arrested.
That's very true. They took this really far.
Yes. Yeah, also, the episode was called But You Promised, because the episode was originally about keeping promises, but they just never changed the name.
I was wondering that when I was listening to it. Like there's like a tangential promise, like kind of it was about like I won't do this to my bike, but like it feels like either they like didn't catch it or they were like, it's still enough about promises.
Yeah. So, again, I like the idea. Now, I think this episode was made a year or two later. Wit would have helped them coordinate a whole thing. The bike shop people would have been in on it. The police would have been in on it. Like, when they revealed to the police officer that we were doing this to teach our daughter a lesson, I think they should get fined for, like, wasting the police's time.
Yeah, I think, well...
I mean, granted, the bike was still stolen, so...
Right.
But...
It's like the bike was still stolen, so you can still report... But right, if it was just laying there unlocked... Which does feel like weird, like there's a responsibility thing, but is forgetting to lock your bike like a responsibility thing or a forgetfulness thing?
Probably a bit of both.
Yeah,
like
I feel like they're
enough to remember.
Yeah, but it's also like someone who's responsible could forget that.
Yes, and I actually wonder, to go to another part of the episode, I wonder if the promise thing had anything to do with the Lucy scene midway through the episode. Because that feels completely out of place. I mean, it fits with the theme, but it also feels like, why is it in this episode?
Yeah, my guess is they had an idea for it, and maybe it was, like, about the bike, and they're like, is this really, like, why is, like, a promise not to forget to lock up your bike, or a promise to, like, be responsible?
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, it doesn't quite work. Like, it's like a weird, I mean, it's not bad. Like, it probably was her irresponsibility, but it is, like, a little harsh to be like, oh, you forgot to lock your bike. like if a kid forgets to lock his bike in, so it's like, oh, I was irresponsible. It's like, well, sometimes people forget even if they are responsible. So, and I think it is, I think, fair to pin it on her irresponsibility if she's had a string of irresponsibility.
It's just the build up to it sounds like it's happened a lot.
Yeah, it's true.
So, So yeah, a fine episode. I feel like that's one thing about this kind of era of Odyssey. None of these episodes are bad, but they're all very stock children's show episodes. This one has a bit more of heaviness where like, oh, she gets brought to the police station. These two innocent people are kind of interrogated. I mean, I at least appreciate it.
Well, especially because Wit implies that he knows.
Right.
Or like figures, and then it keeps going further. It's not like Wit like talk to her parents and the police and it's like, let's kind of shake this up.
Yeah.
Like here's two friends from the Harlequin theater.
Or just like two people Wit knows who are willing to play the role.
Right. It's a little bit like, yike. It would be funny if like Wit had been like, I'll be arrested. Like the person she described happened to look like Wit.
Yeah.
And then Wit gets arrested.
That would be kind of fun in its own way. All right, one more episode and then we're done. A mission for Jimmy. Jimmy Barkley dreams about working with Dan Ishidoro, a missionary to Nicaragua.
Yes. Again, good episode. Very little recollection of it.
In a weird way, it's a proto-club episode.
Yeah, you're kind of right about that.
Yeah. I mean, I like the idea. Jimmy learns about missions through reading a book, having a dream about the book, and we tie it into them having their Christmas gift stolen, because I appreciate how they kind of make that. That clearly would affect you even a year later. Mm-hmm. That's a pretty shaking event to happen.
I actually did remember this episode. I thought you were... I listened ahead to a few, and I think... I don't know. I just got confused what episode you were talking about.
You probably got it mixed up with Operation Dugout.
I think so. I think that's probably what I got confused about. I do remember this episode. I feel like it's very bleak.
Yes.
Very, very bleak, like how it ends. Like, just like they're stuck and they're like, what do we do? He's gonna die. And it's like, I think that is some of the harsh reality of that work. Now.
Oh yeah.
I'd be interested to ask missionaries today if their work is still very much like that.
Actually, yeah.
Because I think that definitely does happen. Like, but I wonder how much missionaries today are providing like medical care like that.
Probably some of them, but they probably have better access to resources.
Or like, right, or there's more, not saying that like religious people don't do this, but like there may be more like religious organizations focused on that, or more like secular organizations also providing that. And like, I would be curious to see, because I do believe stuff like this happens, but it's interesting. This is their first missionary-esque episode.
Agreed.
And it's very much like action, high stakes, like danger filled, like this kind of sense of hopelessness almost.
I kind of feel like that was the general missionary vibe at the time, that these are people going to the extreme and doing all this dark and crazy stuff. I also think it does show, like, hey, there's a darker side to it. It's not all just hugging children for Instagram. Not that Instagram existed at that time, but...
Not that many missionaries do that now. I'm not gonna go into who you're looking at, who you think's doing that. Maybe a missionary trip in a youth group could sometimes get downclassed. I think if you're actually living there, it's probably not why you're there. Right.
So just to quickly talk on the ending. Good ending. I like that they got the real guy to show up. I don't know if he's a real person. I couldn't find that on the wiki. I do find it very funny that Donna walks around talking about how weird this is, as if...
Yeah,
I don't know. That's just very odd to me coming from Donna, but that could just be my imagination.
The ending's always been like weird, where he goes like this super sincere thank you, Jimmy, not just from what he did, but almost like, I know you had the dream where you were helping me.
Yes, yeah, a little magical realism there. But
I've always that's why I remember this episode so well. Is I've always been like, wait, what? Like as a child, I was just like, what? Like, what does this mean? Was it all real? It's like, clearly no. Like even as a child, I'm like, clearly that was a dream. That was the intention. But
right. Yeah. All right. So unfortunately we have to go, but that wraps up this episode. So join us next time. We'll do 6 more. I'm Will.
I'm John.
We'll see you next time.
Membership fees apply after free trial. Cancel anytime. Guys, are you trying to stay in 20-year-old shape into your 30s and 40s and finding it, well, impossible? Then you need to listen to this. Beachbody, the company that revolutionized getting ripped at home with P90X and Insanity, has a brand new program just for you called Lift 4. It's part lift, it's part hit, with total body shredding results in just 30 to 40 minutes a day, right at home on the Beachbody On Demand app. That's how you get killer results as an adult. Go to beachbody.com to sign up now, and you can try Live 4 for free. That's beachbody.com.
Tired of long waits and rushed care at the ER and urgent care clinic? Next time, stay home and let Dispatch Health bring the power of the hospital to you.
I call Dispatch Health. A care team of medical professionals actually come to your house.
They're the same caliber of people that you would see if you were at a hospital or an urgent care.
Dispatch Health can treat most non-life-threatening emergencies.
They can do the x-rays, they can do stitches,
urinary tract infections, blood test, urinalysis, ultrasound.
It's almost everything that they can do at the ER.
You never feel rushed. They're there for you and only you.
I felt like their only patient.
And it costs no more than a trip to urgent care because Dispatch Health is covered by most insurance, including Medicare. See if we serve your home at dispatchhealth.com.
Dispatch Health really went above and beyond.
It's wonderful to have care come to your home.
House calls are back, and they're better than ever. Learn more at dispatchhealth.com.